Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for some fun. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back. Well, it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yes, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Welcome back, Jesse, Pittsburgh Steelers. Touchdown! We got the tape. Let's check in with Jesse Storm for an update.
Well, since the incident in Pittsburgh at the Steelers game, the Pennsylvania Senate called together a special preliminary hearing of the Judiciary Committee to discuss the things that took place and the abuses of power in our present government and with police and the other things associated to what took place in Pittsburgh. From our understanding, what we're being told, a copy of the preliminary hearing was sent to Senator Greenleaf, which is the chairman for the Judiciary Committee.
So you're awaiting word on any results of that?
Correct.
During the preliminary hearing, did you receive a phone call from the senators?
Yes, I did.
And did they ask you questions about last Sunday's Steelers game?
Correct. They asked a series of questions in regards to the abuse of power that was taking place last Sunday at the Pittsburgh Steelers game.
The unsportsmanlike conduct, as we referred to it.
Correct.
And you were able to be of help to them?
Yes.
And subsequently now, some exciting news today, finally.
We received the package from the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is supposed to contain our cassette and video from the Sunday rally.
Without further ado, we know you want to see it, so let's check it out. We'll go back to Jesse's words to demonstrate that it happened the way he said it did. And let's follow along this time with the tape. Show the action. The game nobody saw that Sunday.
Well, Fathers for Justice of Pennsylvania and Ohio, Virginia, had all gathered together today to have a rally at the Pittsburgh Steelers football game. We were at the parking lot outside of the Pittsburgh Steelers game. We were on the sidewalks around the stadium, and security staff there from Landmark Security started harassing us that we couldn't be on the public sidewalk, and we couldn't hand out our literature on the public sidewalks and the public throughways and passageways there at the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium. And he then called for backup from Pittsburgh police, and Sergeant John Fisher responded then from the Pittsburgh Police Department. And at that point the camera was on and rolling, and he informed me that he wanted the camera turned off because I was in violation of the federal wiretap law.
When Sergeant Fisher is here, if you want to talk to Sergeant Fisher.
Tape recording him?
Correct.
Turn it off.
Why?
Violation of the wiretap act. I can arrest you right now for violation of the wiretap act. I can arrest you right now for violation of the wiretap act. I can arrest you right now for violation of the wiretap act.
Folks, police making up the rules as they go. We have another shot for you. After Jesse got released, went back out front, who did he happen to run into? It's serendipitous, it's ironic, it's near providential. Tom Corbett, our illustrious Attorney General. Now, you all know Tom. He's been on the front page of every paper across the state. They've managed to bust everybody they could in the month before election, and he's been at every bust. And you also see him on television with ads on going to see, I started a sexual predator unit. I started a unit for elderly. I started a unit for people who sell you bad shingles. And I put them in jail when they did. He's a man who loves to share the credit of his office. But we've got one that Tom Corbett did do, or in this case rather, didn't do. Months ago, we contacted Tom Corbett and advised him that district attorneys and police officers throughout the state were misutilizing, misquoting the wiretapping laws to arrest people who are exposing corruption or going about their normal constitutional rights of demonstrations. And we suggested, far be it from us to suggest anything, that it would be in the best interest of law enforcement that if the Attorney General of Pennsylvania would circulate, clarify for these individuals that they cannot go around arresting people and accusing them of wiretapping when they're filming somebody on the corner of the street or at a public meeting or anywhere else. They try to pull this crapolas. So I say to you, Tom Corbett, if you would have done what you were supposed to do, none of this would have happened. We wouldn't have had Jesse Storm legally detained. You wouldn't have Pittsburgh Police Department looking like a pack of fools. You wouldn't have the liability. I'd like to think the ACLU might get involved. Not holding my breath. But regardless, all this could have happened if you'd have just done your job. And Tom, will you do it now? I'm going to call him again. And I'll ask him, Tom, will you do your job? As the state's top law enforcement officer, would you advise police that they cannot use a law? Come on, folks. The wiretapping law was created to protect citizens from police wiretapping them and authorities wiretapping them illegally. That's what it was put in place for. Not to protect cops who are breaking the law or government officials who are corrupt from having to answer questions on camera or at least having to have themselves filmed in public. And that's what they turned it around throughout the state. One of the tightest wiretapping laws in the country. And what do they use it for? Not to protect the citizens, which the legislature passed it for, I'd like to think. To further their oppression on the citizens. So even when you make a law to try to hinder their oppression, they turn it around and use it to further oppress. So I say to you, on the conclusion of the Jesse Storm and the Pittsburgh Steal-ers, 7-0. It's at least halftime. Let the courts sort out the rest and see if any press. We'll take a look. Daddy Justice, signing off. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for some fun. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never come back. Well, it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yes, it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.